In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can achieve this really cool erase to reveal technique that you can use in your very own Instagram Reels or TikTok art videos. I'm going to be using an iPad in Procreate, but you can achieve the same effect with any art program that uses layers. So if you want to learn all about this and more, keep watching. What is up, guys? So today's video, very different than my normal tutorials because we're not gonna draw anything at all. This is just a step-by-step tutorial of how to get that erase to reveal technique for your TikTok art videos or Instagram Reel videos. So kind of assuming you already have a finished design that you wanna achieve this look with. For me, if you wanna follow along, I've got this set up with lines, highlights, shadows, color flats, background, and sketch. So those are the layers that I'm gonna be using if you wanna follow along exactly, if you wanna have yours set up the same way. So if you wanna go back to your gallery view, pick a design you've already done, or if you wanna pause this, draw one from scratch, you can, it's up to you. But with this, of course, I'm using Procreate. You can follow along with this tutorial though with any art program that you have as long as it has the layers option with it. So if you've got Adobe Photoshop or Clip Studio or Sketchbook Pro, whatever you're using, you can follow along. Some of the menus are gonna be different, but the technique and the idea behind it is gonna be the same. So I'm gonna kind of assume here that you've got your design loaded in. And for this video, the way I see it in my head as far as doing a TikTok, I kind of wanna show my progress in making a design from the sketch to the inks to adding color flats to the highlights, shadows, and then finally the finished design with the background. But first, to draw viewers in, I want the finished design to be the first thing that's shown. So this is gonna start out the video, and then we're gonna do kind of an erase here. It's not gonna be an erase to reveal. I want it to go to white first. So with that in mind, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here to our layers menu, and I'm gonna slide all of these to the right so that they're all blue. I want to select all of these, and then I'm going to group these. So we've got a new group here. I'm going to hit this arrow here to collapse it. And then I want to go ahead and make a couple of copies of this. So we'll go ahead and duplicate this a couple of times here. Get those done. We'll use those later on, so I'm going to turn them off right now. And then I'm going to turn or uncollapse this one and make sure that this new group down here is selected. All right, so of course here I don't want the sketch showing on the finished design, so I'm gonna turn off the sketch. And then I'm just gonna pinch all these together and flatten them. If you're using another program, you just wanna merge all of them onto one, so we just have the flattened final design here. All right, so for the reveal then, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the eraser to do this. And touching on that then brings up our brush library. I'm gonna use airbrushing and medium airbrush. So this, once again, whatever program you're using, you'll probably have a airbrush brush in there, so just select that. For me, I'm gonna set this to about 50%. With your design, it might be a little bit different because it's going to depend on your canvas size. This is a pretty big canvas. It's a 4,000 pixel by 4,000 pixel canvas. So the idea here is when you use the brush, you just want to use the eraser a couple times going across the screen. You don't want to have to sit there and, for 10 or 15 or 20 seconds erase like that. You just want some nice motions going across. 50% works pretty good for this. So like I said, this is gonna be the first screen as far as the video goes. So this is where I would grab my phone, load up TikTok, hit record, and then just going across here a couple times to erase, and we're left with white. And then of course, pause. Now, I'm gonna pull back up the layers here, and we can go ahead and delete these. So now we're just left with our two new groups here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one on. We'll uncollapse this, expand it out here. So the first thing then that I want shown is the sketch. So what we're gonna do then is we're just going to going to combine all these, just delete. So now we're left with the sketch. So I want it to go from the finished design or to that white screen. That's where we stopped at. Now I want to erase that white and show the sketch. Now there's a few ways to do this. Of course, you know the old adage, more than one way to skin a cat. This same thing here. You could use masks and all that. For me, I just want to kind of keep this simple. So I'm just going to make a new layer here and drag and drop the white into here. So now we've got a layer of just white and we've got the sketch layer. So then we're ready to go ahead and reveal this one. So once again, grabbing out my phone, press record, and then we're just going to erase to reveal the sketch. Boom. All right, the sketch is done. Now we want to reveal the inks. That's the next step in my process. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my layers again here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on this new group. I'm going to duplicate this one more time here. We'll turn this one off. Expand this one. And now I want the lines to be the next thing that we see. So this selected, I'm going to drag and drop this down below our sketch. We can turn off this group now. And then we can go ahead and delete that new white layer that we had there. All right, so we have the sketch, we have the lines. Of course here, they're both visible. So what we want to do now is we want to come down here to lines, make a new layer, and we're going to drag and drop white onto here. So that's going to cover up our lines. Now, if we erase this white like we did before though, our sketch is still going to show up. We want both of those to disappear at the same time. So we need to pinch those together. So our sketch and that white, you can see now, are all on one, and the lines are underneath. With that done and the eraser selected then, once again, we grab our phone, hit record, and then bring our eraser across to erase the sketch and leave us with the lines. So that's the next step. From here then, we want to go ahead and have our color flats as the next thing that we see. So let's go ahead and turn on the color flats here. I'm going to drag and drop this down underneath our lines. Let's turn off this new group again. We can delete this layer that we had there. So we've got our lines and we've got our color flats. Now here's where you start to add extra steps. So we're going to erase the lines layer to reveal the color flats, but we still need the lines there, of course. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and duplicate the lines layer. And then this bottom lines here in color flats, we want to pinch those together. And now once again, we want to make a new layer here. We'll drag and drop the white onto there. Coming back up then to our layers menu, we're going to combine the lines and the white layer. So we've got lines with white, and then the color flats that also have the lines because we merged those. So now with this one turned on and selected, we're ready to grab our phone again, go ahead and hit record with the eraser. We're going to go ahead and erase there to reveal the color flats. So that's the next step. Of course, hit pause there on your phone. Coming back up then to our layers menu, I'm going to go ahead and delete that new white layer that we had in there with the lines. All right, so we want to do shadows next. That's going to be my next thing here. So from here, what I'm going to do is we can go ahead and get rid of this new group now. And then we want to duplicate this new group again. Let's turn this one on. Expand it here. We can go ahead and delete the sketch in the background here, and we can even delete the highlights from this one. We don't need those. We just want the lines, the shadows, and the color flats. So we're going to pinch these together. We're going to grab this, so holding down, and bring this to the very bottom. With this selected, make a new layer. We're going to drag and drop white there. Coming back up to our layers menu again. Then we're going to merge that top color flats and that one there. So we have this here, and then we have this here. As you can see, I'm going to turn off this new group here. So now, with this white background layer selected, we're ready to go ahead, once again, grab our phone, hit record with the eraser, and we're going to erase to reveal those shadows. All right, so next up then, we've got highlights. So coming back up here to our layers menu, we can go ahead and slide this to the left to delete it. We can delete that new group here. And then I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this group one more time. We're going to turn this one on, expand it down. Once again, just delete the background and the sketch. And then now we can just go ahead and grab all these together. So these are going to be basically the finished design minus the background. So we've got lines, we've got color flats, we've got shadows and highlights. I'm going to grab this one, drag it down to the bottom. With that selected, once again, make a new layer here. Drag and drop the white here. Coming back up to layers then, we want to pinch those two together. So the top one and the white. So now we've got this one, which has the color flats and the shadows and the inks, and then the one underneath that has all that plus the highlights. With that selected then, once again, back to recording. So we would hit record there, and then with our airbrush again, we're going to erase here to reveal the highlights. And then finally, we're down to the last point where we're going to do the background. We can go ahead and slide this to the left to delete it. This one, we can actually go ahead now and slide this to the left and duplicate this one. Turning on our new group here, we're just going to grab that background, bring that down to the bottom. We can go ahead and delete this new group now. And then we can just pinch these together. So we've got the background now added. Making a new layer again. Dragging and dropping the white into there. And then pinching those together. With that layer selected, the eraser again, grabbing our phone again and hitting record as we erase to add that background in. And then that's going to be our final design. Of course, this would loop then and go back into the start, which is going to have that same finished design on the start of it. So this then is what it looks like finished. And there you go. That's today's tutorial, how to do that really cool art reveal for TikTok or Instagram Reels. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and can put it to use on your own TikTok or Instagram account. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked today's video, if you got some valuable information out of it, definitely give it a thumbs up. As for me, I can be found online, BeeJayDeL.com, as well as on Instagram and Twitter, and of course TikTok at BeeJayDeL. So that's it for today, and until next time, keep creating.